Welcome back to BoreDraw, and today we've got a real serious video for you. We're going to be ranking a lot of the Premier League midfielders, putting them in their places, letting them know where they be.
And before we do that, let us know if you enjoyed our special Don Robbie episode that came out earlier in the week. Probably the best thing we've ever done.
Definitely the best thing we've ever done.
Get involved in the giveaway. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cracking on with... We're going to rank it's not every single. We found a tier list online. It's been doing the rounds on Twitter. It's pretty much everybody just ranking central midfielders. And it's brewed up a lot of controversy on Twitter where people are ranking people too high, too low, etc. So we thought we'd hop on the trend. We've got probably about 30 midfielders here. And we're going to rank them all. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to be so harsh.
Yeah. I saw some where it had like 10 people in S tier. I reckon there's probably like 4 in the Prem.
You've got 10 people in S tier, then it's not really S tier, is it?
Exactly that.
Right.
Should we just start with what we got going on here?
Starting off with a man whose first game week performance was outrageous.
Yeah, boy.
He took to...
I'm going to jumble these up a little bit.
St James's Park.
Too many that are like from the same club next to each other.
Yeah,
and that's not as fun.
We got... he took to...
Like a duck in water.
Like a duck to water at St James's Park. Yeah. Sandro Tonali, what a boy. For me, he has potential to be an A-S tier player.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I'm saying at the minute, it's too early doors.
I was going to say, we've got to preface this whole video by saying it's right now. It's not what they've done. It's not what they could be.
Yeah.
It's right now, going into
in the Premier League, where
season.
are they in terms of the rank? So for me, Sandro Tonali is a top B player with a lot of potential.
Because I totally agree. And let's move on to another new summer recruit, Mohamed Dahoud for Brighton. A man with pedigree.
Like, he had fairly decent time at Dortmund.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how he sort of gets to work on the De Zerbi. But I think he's a very De Zerbi player.
I think he's very like McAllister.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't look too showy, kind of floats around, kind of unknown on the pitch, doesn't get much of the limelight, but is very important in how the team plays. He's like a very systemic player that a lot of the players play around. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think Brighton, he's a good recruit for free as well. It's
on a free is mad.
Outrageous signing. I'd say maybe B, maybe C.
Yeah, he's petering on sort of that line, isn't he? So maybe for me, I'll put him top C for now, but we can always have a little shuffle. Right, moving on.
A player that is under a lot of stick right now. His midfield at his club is getting revamped, and I'm seeing a lot of calls for him to get shipped out. We're talking Thomas Souček of West Ham.
Yeah, he had a really good season where he just couldn't stop scoring like headers.
When he first broke in, I had him in my fantasy for so long because, yeah, like you said, he was just scoring headers constantly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? But I think
we're talking right now.
Right now, for me, he's F tier.
He reeks a little bit.
I think he stinks. He is. The problem is, West Ham. If Paqueta goes, they're done for. I mean, they got Ward-Prowse in.
Ward-Prowse and Edson Alvarez.
I don't even think Edson Alvarez. I
think he's very overrated.
Yeah, I think he's bang average. A lot
of fans gassing him like he's the second coming of Declan Rice. They'll be shocked. There'll be blood on their hands.
It's gonna be rough. But for me, stinky boy tier.
Back to Brighton. We're talking about underrated players. Pascal Gross, a player that's been in the Prem now for fuck knows how long, 4, 5, 6 seasons, and he's never
talked about in the limelight, is he?
Never talked about he's going to get that big 6 move.
Did he get 4 goals at Liverpool, or 3? He scored a hat trick at Liverpool last season.
No, it was Trossard.
Oh, that was Trossard.
But Pascal Gross always delivers goals and assists. He's a
big game player as well.
Yeah, his chance conversion is good, and there's a reason he's always in that Brighton team. When it was Potter, when it was De Zerbi, he's always in the squad. He's always in the team, and I think he's a very underrated player. I think I could happily slap him next to his buddy Dahoud in the C tier.
I was going to say maybe B tier.
Is
that too?
It's a little
getting ahead of yourself.
It's a little bit punchy, but I'll bear that in mind.
He's been pivotal in a Brighton team, which had an outrageous finish last season. They've got ever better. He's done it under 2 very different managers, and for me, he's got to be ahead of Dahoud in terms of where he's at.
So
And
I'll do that for you, Luke.
I think he might be
And then
B
we'll
tier.
potentially rejig
If
it.
we think we come to the end, we think there's too many players in a certain category, we can do it. Right. This
From
man.
Thomas Souček and F tier, we are now looking all the way to the other end of the table.
Yeah, this
Because
man is.
We've got arguably the best midfielder in the world at the moment.
Ooh, best DM in the world.
I'm seeing calls for him to get Ballon d'Or.
Nah.
He is that guy though. He's really good.
Yeah, but if you took him out of the team and you placed him with a Party or a Rice or I don't know, like a Tuchemeni or something like that, would they still have won everything? He did
I think
score
with
in the
Partey,
Champions
no.
League.
Maybe Declan Rice, maybe Tchouaméni, no.
But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But he's S tier for me.
He's S tier.
He's S tier for me.
I think he is probably the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, we're talking about Rodri.
We're talking about
We
Rodri.
need to remember this is going out on all our audio platforms. So yeah, we need to
Are
make
we
sure.
doing that?
I thought we were.
I don't know. Can
Why
do.
not, man?
Yeah, fuck it.
Treat
Shout out all
them.
the
Treat
Spotify
them.
listeners.
But yeah, he's outrageous for me. Best DM in the world.
Yeah,
in
I
the
agree.
best team in the world. It's a hard job as well because he doesn't really have a lot of support around him. I know he gets like the John Stones inverting and
Exactly that. I think so. I saw analysis of the Man United Wolves game and how Man United's setup was so bad because he just left Casemiro isolated by himself.
Rodri would have been fine.
Rodri would have been fine.
Yeah,
And that's the levels in this game.
yeah. He's versatile as well. He plays like centre back for Spain. He's just an outrageous
Gets
player.
goals as well, like clutch moment goals.
Yeah,
Champions League final.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a bagsman. First game of the season against Burnley, he scored.
Yeah, no, he's an outrageous player.
Yeah, good
and
player.
Top player.
A player that has
Speaking of Man United,
yes, a player that has made the move. He had a blistering start where he burst onto the scene and he was the star boy, and won the Champions League with Chelsea. Everything was smooth sailing.
the world was at his feet.
We said when Graham Potter got the Chelsea job, we were like, "Oh, Graham Potter in Mason Mount, that is a match made in
Problem
heaven."
is, we've said that about every manager that's been at Chelsea. Like, Pochettino, he was such a Mason Mount sort of manager.
But he's gone. He's working under Eric Ten Hag, which we also said is a match made in heaven because
He's not
we
really
don't
asked to
think
do too
Mason
much.
Mount is the best kind of
He
IQ
can't
footballer.
he can't be left to do to his own devices because he'll get lost.
You just got to fill him full of instructions, give him a very specific role, and he'll succeed. And I think that's what he's lacked in this kind of turbulent time at Chelsea, is he's lacked a specific role. And hopefully the Man United move will pay off. I think there is still a quality player in there. But
I feel like he's a bit shit at the minute, but he just like everyone needs to get off his back a little bit. Just let him get back to playing football.
You're spitting.
Like,
Is it rude if I say B tier?
I would say maybe C tier.
C tier. Nah, he's better than Pascal Gross.
Is he though?
Or
Is he though? Like, we're saying right now, yeah, potentially, and like historically, probably better. But right now, Pascal Gross is the player you'd want in your team, probably.
you're spitting. Right, I'm gonna keep him B, but behind Pascal Gross.
Right. We'll yeah. I can agree with that.
I'm gonna move some people around again because we want to have some talking points
Why don't
towards
you
the
grab
end.
from random places?
Yeah, I could do that. Emi Buendia.
He could be out for like 8 months or something. I think he's E tier.
E tier. I think he's coming into his own a little bit at the moment under
He
Emery.
was so good at Norwich.
He was so good at
Then
Norwich.
he went to Villa as part of that sort of like Jack Grealish spending money.
Yeah.
And I was very excited for him because he tore up the Championship. He was brilliant with Norwich. I think he was with Norwich in the Premier League as well. Brilliant player. Just no consistency.
Yeah.
Lack of consistency. I think under Steven Gerrard at Villa, that Christmas tree sort of setup that Mickey Beale liked to do was like perfect for him, but we didn't see it. We didn't see it. Maybe that's because Coutinho was in, and it was all about Coutinho at the time, and you had sort of Ollie Watkins playing through the middle. It wasn't really working.
Yeah. I do want to say I haven't seen enough of it in the Prem.
Yeah, for me, he's
that's
like
why I don't
high
hate-
E, low
Yeah.
D.
I don't hate.
Would you rather like the questions will be? Would you rather have him or Dahoud? Dahoud for me.
Yeah.
But-
Right now, the who.
Yeah, someone's got to be an E tier. So sorry, Emmy, you're an E.
And we'll partner that with his Aston Villa comrade, Douglas Luiz.
He's top tier. He might be low B for me. I think I'd rather have him than Mason Mount.
Oh,
Douglas Luiz, like every
I
summer,
think he's very underrated.
he's been linked with Arsenal. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Liverpool haven't gone in for him.
Yeah, I think
He'd be really good for Liverpool. I think he might be better than Doucouré at Palace.
disagree. And we can't even talk about Doucouré because this fucking tier list that we got,
No
is
Palace players.
missing a lot of players, but is close enough to
It's
the full
basically
package.
like top 6 and a few.
There's Wolves done in here though. It's like how it's
Yeah,
it's
what was
not-
he getting top 6 this year?
Come on. But yeah, I think Douglas Luiz, as you said, is a very underrated player. Always gets touted at top 6 moves. I know Arsenal have been linked, Liverpool sometimes, Man United sometimes. And yeah, I think he does his job very kind of smartly. Doesn't do too much, doesn't over kind of push his role. Just knows he's going to enter that like link up between the defence and the midfield. And yeah, I really like him.
Who are we talking about?
Douglas Luiz.
Luiz. Oh, you've already where you put him?
I'll put him in B.
Oh,
Ahead of
yeah,
Mason
yeah.
Mount.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he does his job. He doesn't go doesn't steal the limelight, doesn't make it about him. He's a set piece taker as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a nice little ping on him.
Yeah, I think he scored from a corner a couple of times last season.
Yeah, he did well.
I think he's a really underrated player. I think he's such an important player for Villa as well. And you've noticed, like, even throughout their sort of plethora of managers, he's been a stalwart in their team. And yeah, he's been linked with moves away. I think he wanted Arsenal at one point. But yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get a move to a Big 6 club because I think he's a really solid player. He plays like most games all season, so consistency is a massive part of the Premier League at the minute. But
Talking of move to a Big 6 club, Romeo Lavia.
Why is he in a Premier League list?
I know. But
We make up the rules now.
it'd be what it be. Romeo Lavia, Chelsea bound. What do we think of him?
I think
We're talking right now. We're
think
not
he's-
talking potential.
I think he's a very good future player.
Yep,
I
I
think
agree.
he's very raw at the minute. He needs experience to learn, especially when you play that sort of defense midfield role. It's not like
He's
being
18,
being a
19.
winger or something.
Yeah.
You need to learn the game. You need the experience in your legs
like,
to learn the game.
As a winger, you make a mistake, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't lead
There's
to a
no
goal.
consequence. Yeah.
Whereas like centre backs and DMs, you make a mistake, invariably it's going to lead to a goal. And I think that's something he hasn't been exposed to properly yet because he hasn't had enough games.
But
There's a gem.
we saw in last season with Southampton, he was very calm, composed, really controlled on the ball.
Built player as well. He's a unit.
Yeah, but
physically
technically
good.
very good.
Yeah.
There's a reason that all these clubs are after him. Don't like the fact he's picked Chelsea.
Nah,
I feel like these young players are getting given 7, 8, 9-year contracts, and they're thinking, right, well, I'm going to be earning 150 grand a week.
It's impossible to turn down that much money for that long.
for 10
period of
years,
time.
mate.
It's
Mental.
just generational.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. But he's going to play second fiddle to Caicedo, behind Enzo, probably behind Conor Gallagher.
Yeah. So
it's
right
mental.
now, if
For
I
me,
say C,
I'm going to say C, maybe. It's pretty equal
if
to
I
Dahoud.
say C,
He's probably.
you say D.
I would say let's give him ahead of Dahoud because he's done it in the Prem last season.
Oh, okay. Juicy. And a player that's done it in the Prem for a handful of years now, say 4, 5, 6 years. Mateo Kovacic, recently signed for Manchester City.
I think, mate. Honestly, he's got to be B.
I think he might be an A.
He might be an A, you know.
Yeah,
He-
I think
like-
he's quality.
He's like another underrated player, someone who doesn't get the plaudits because his job isn't glamorous.
Yeah.
But what he does, he's a brilliant carrier of the ball.
Yeah.
He's brilliant at breaking up play. There's a reason that Pep's gone out and got him.
Yeah.
Like, he lost Gundogan.
I don't think
and he's
he's
almost
like-
replaced him. He's not as good as Gundogan.
I don't think he is the complete Gundogan replacement, but he does a lot of things that Gundogan does similarly. Like, they go under the radar a lot. But
He arrives
when
late into the
Gundogan
box.
gets goals and assists, Kovacic doesn't do that as much,
Mm.
but Kovacic carries the ball a lot better than Gundogan ever did.
Yeah. And
But I
he's more
think
physical than Gundogan,
I think he's
probably.
a quality player.
Yeah, I'm happy with A.
Let's get him up there.
100%. He's probably like what Tonali could be. But
Maybe.
Tonali probably is a bit deeper than him.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
like that.
Whoa.
Man United's very own Casemiro.
For me, he's an A tier.
Yes, I think right now he's coming under a bit of fire for Man United fans for being not agile enough, not enough like legs in there to cover.
He came in last season and he was probably the most important signing of their season. He turned it around for them and they went on like a pretty good run.
Yeah.
He was very solid. The games he wasn't there after he got his ridiculous bans were noticeable.
Yeah.
But in a good team, you shouldn't really notice the DM because their work should be quiet,
Exactly.
like Rodri does.
Yeah.
You only notice him because he gets goals and assists, and he's an outrageous player.
I agree. I think off of Casemiro's last season, he has to be an A minimum because he was.
It's only with one game into the season.
He was outrageous
and I think
last season.
the Ten Hag system has changed so much from the last game of this season.
Let's get him
for
into
me,
A.
he's top tier of A at the minute. He's
He's
over Kovacic, yeah.
Indeed. Another DM. There was a conversation between our S tier Rodri, A tier Casemiro, and this fella, Thomas Partey.
Oh, do you know what? So it's
If it
really
was,
difficult.
Personality or outside of football,
We're
he's an F tier.
we're not talking about that.
I am. What prick.
Yeah, would you rather have him, Rodri, or Casemiro? For me,
Rodri.
I'm gonna do this for you now. Yeah, bench one, start one, sell one. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say start Rodri, bench Partey, sell Casemiro.
Nah, I think I'd start Rodri, bench Casemiro, sell Partey.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So for
Okay.
me, Partey better than Kovacic behind Casemiro.
Indeed.
Simple as.
I like that.
I think he's really good. I think he's versatile as well. We saw him playing was he playing right back?
Yep.
I
think his ability to beat a press is the best out of all of them, but
yeah.
his IQ is not as good as either of Casemiro or Rodri.
He's not as good as looking up and seeing reading the pitch, is he?
Yeah, his reading of the game isn't as good as Rodri or Casemiro.
But he's also one of those who he doesn't look phased when he's got two people running at him, and he's brilliant at cutting off channels. He's one of the best at cutting off the channels. And maybe that goes down to
potentially the future best out of all of these, Moises Caicedo, the most expensive midfielder in
most
Premier League.
expensive British transfer of all time.
In Premier League history.
Another man who snaked Liverpool for
Jesus.
their promises of...
115
Apparently he supported
million.
Chelsea all his life, but I've seen about 15 different tweets of him
Yeah.
saying he supports different clubs.
Yeah, Man United one is one I saw.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, fuck knows. But one season at Brighton, and he's gone for the most expensive midfielder in the world.
I'm hesitant.
In the Premier League.
When I went to see, I saw Brighton Man United in the FA Cup semi-final. He was outrageous. By far the best player on the pitch. Him and Estupinian were just like a link-up made in heaven. Even like Lewis Dunk.
Shout out Lewis Dunk.
I think he's hilarious, by the way.
I was watching some of their TikToks.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, like I said, it was unreal. His ability to look up and pick a pass and just ping it 20 yards and just he was so good, so composed. I'm worried though. Is it like the Brighton effect where they look so good for Brighton,
Yeah,
and then they go to another team and they're just not nearly as good? Like McAllister looked alright for Liverpool. I thought he looked quite good, but Cucurella at Chelsea wasn't good. But maybe that's down to how disorganised Chelsea were. Who else have we had that's made a big move from Brighton? Basuma at Tottenham didn't really work from last season, but maybe that was also because of the Conte away. He wasn't really getting the minutes in. He wasn't being trusted in a weird Conte system. I am apprehensive about this, but for me, it goes back to the question: would you have him over Thomas Partey? Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think I'd have him over Thomas Partey. You were linked with him, I'm right?
Yeah, I think I'd put him A tier.
Yeah, but would I have him over Casemiro? Maybe not at the minute.
Yeah, maybe not at the minute. A player that I think... So that was a Caicedo A tier. A player that I think is incredibly underrated, and I'm very intrigued to see where you put him, Joe Linton.
I think he is B tier, right between Pascal Grosch and McGinn.
Douglas Luiz, not McGinn.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Douglas Luiz.
But I think that was nicer than I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say like DC. But
No,
I think he's so good.
I like what he's about.
I
I like the
put
fact he's
him-
accepted. I'm not a goal scorer.
Yeah.
but he's got so much to offer.
I might put him at the very top of B.
He's not better than Tonali.
I think he might be.
I don't think he's better than
Right
Pascal
now,
Grosch.
I'd say he's the best we've got in B. I'd take him over Tonali. I'd take him over Gross. I'd take him over Douglas Luiz. I'd take him over Mason Mount.
That's raucous, but I'll let you have it.
What I'll do is I'll put him behind Tonali.
No. If you think
Okay.
mate, back yourself. If you
Right,
think he's
he's
better
there.
than Tonali, you could take
I do.
the beans for that.
There's no beans here, mate. Bruno Fernandes. Talk to me.
You might disagree with this, but for me, he's top of A.
Top of A. Yeah, I don't hate that.
He is a really good player.
I don't hate that.
He is a rat.
He's a big rat.
But if he's on your team, you love it.
Yeah.
Because that's who you want. You want those players who are going to moan and argue about everything.
I wouldn't want him as my captain, though.
No, but he's a leader on the pitch. Technically, he's brilliant. His goals and assists sort of output has trickled off a little bit last season.
A few attacking mids coming up, so this is interesting.
But for me, he is an elite midfielder. He's top of A tier.
Yeah, out of all the A tiers, I'd have him over Casemiro, Caicedo.
Problem is, there's a lot of good players in the Premier League, so we're in trouble.
There is, especially. Yeah. Up next, Spurs' new talisman, a new number 10, James Maddison.
I'm almost tempted to put him above Bruno Fernandes. But
I think he is really good.
He's outrageous. 2 assists on his debut for Spurs in the Premier League. We saw what he was about. When he was playing for Leicester last season, he was best player on the pitch by a country mile. He's brilliant once he got into the England fold.
Yeah.
For me, though, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
I think he's got brilliant output in terms of goal contribution, in terms of he's a goal scorer, and his playmaking is up there with the best in the Premier League, maybe the best in the world. His vision to spot a pass, his weight of pass, he just knows what's going on around him all the time. It's like he's got eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah.
But for me, I need to see it consistently, and he's only just now moved to the top echelon of the team. So
I think it's a combo of the lack of consistency, easy to look good in a Leicester team when you're way above that level. Can he now compete with the bigger dons at Spurs? Not that there's many there. But...
Where I'm looking now, I think he's better than B tier.
Yeah, I'm say looking bottom at A tier.
But I think he's better than Kovacic. I think he's better than Partey.
I'm going to disagree on the Partey one. I'll give you maybe Kovacic.
I think he is better. Who would you rather have?
I think if you're...
Who would you rather... if I gave you an option right now you got the team as it is, you could trade Partey for Maddison, would you take the trade? You would. 100%.
Now that I've got a DM in Declan Rice.
Yeah, but if you for your team right now, who would you rather just
But that's an irrelevant question because I've got a DM. If I didn't have a DM, if I didn't have a DM and I didn't have a cam,
I guess if you asked a Liverpool player,
I'd
Liverpool
go
fan,
for Thomas Partey over James Maddison.
Yeah, all right. I'll agree to disagree on that one. Yeah, we could put him between Kovacic and Partey.
Between these boys. Next up, my bloody boy, Martin Odegaard.
Behind Casemiro, in front of Caicedo.
I'm going to go S tier. I think he is so good. And I don't want to throw the word generational talent around.
I mean,
but he
was the wonder kid of all wonder kids.
The way he just manoeuvres the ball on a pitch is disgusting.
I find he goes missing, though.
How does he go missing? He got, double-digit goals and double-digit assists last season. That's not going missing.
Yeah.
Going missing is what Bruno Fernandes did last season.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard, man. There's too many good...
He's not above Rodri, but he's an S tier player. I'd have him over every single one of those A tier players. He's younger than all those A tier players, apart from Caicedo, and he's better than all of them.
Fine.
That's
I'll let
my
you have
guy.
It. I'll let you have it.
That's my guy.
He was fantastic, and like you're saying, we're doing it about current,
Yeah, there's not many better cams in the league.
Yeah, no, I do agree. He is really good. I would like to see how he would fare in a different team.
He's not going anywhere.
I know he's not, but
apparently we're talking about giving him a new contract.
10-year contract.
Can't we slap him with a tenner?
But yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's good one. We need someone to get in his D tier, man.
Come on. Whoa, talking to D tier, Dominic Szoboszlai.
Probably S tier for me. Now, for me, he is probably...
I liked his debut.
I liked his debut, but it's too early to tell.
It's very much too early to tell.
He's playing... last season for Leipzig, he played right midfield, or right wing for the most of the season. But now he's being deployed in sort of a right central midfield role, which I think he's going to be thriving in. Yeah. I think his range of passing is outrageous. I think he's a good ball carrier, technically very good.
Yeah.
Strong player, absolute rifle of a shot on him. I think he's a dangerous weapon to have.
Somewhere in B tier?
Somewhere in B tier, I think maybe
I'm
between
starting to look at where we put Mason
Louis.
Mount, and I'm thinking we maybe did him dirty.
You think?
Between... Yeah, I'd go there.
Yeah, I think... It's too early to tell, but I think he is probably going to be an A-tier player soon come, especially if they get a DM in.
So that's a player at the start of his Premier League career. coming up as a player at very much the end of his Premier League career.
Someone who we didn't think would have a career after.
Someone that's done the end of his life.
Yeah. Christian Eriksen.
Mad.
What an outrageous player he was when he was at Tottenham.
Yeah, when he was flying.
Brentford, he was outrageous.
If we were talking all-time career, he's probably maybe S.
border an S, yeah.
But right now,
for me, he's
in
D.
the Premier League,
D tier.
Yeah, I agree. I
think
don't
his
think
legs
he's got
have
the
gone.
legs.
I think his legs are gone.
His heart's probably gone.
Don't really know what else he brings now.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, Man United, if you want to compete at the very top,
Got to be ruthless.
you got to be ruthless. And
But he's better than Scott McTominay.
him, with his dodgy legs, partnered with Casemiro and his inability to get around the pitch, that midfield is not clearing up enough.
Yeah, I agree. Oh,
Here's a player. West Ham currently.
this is someone that
But-
you called.
Yeah,
You had in your floppies.
I've done the ringer on this guy. So I called him a flop. Not even 3 or 4 months later, £110 million bid from Manchester City.
Yeah.
Everybody watches what I do.
For me, I think he is.
He's not worth 110
I
mil.
think he might be B tier behind Joe Linton
Yeah, would you have him over Sandro Tonali?
at the minute.
Okay.
At the minute, I think Tonali give him like
So why
5
did you say he's behind Joe Linton then? If you didn't rate Joe Linton where I put him.
because I just like I'm not gonna move Joe Linton, but I think he's like bordering on A.
Okay.
I mean, I
Should we put him at the top of B?
behind
Behind Joe Linton.
Yeah, but
My guy Joe Linton
yeah,
is
fine.
going to sneak his way into A tier somehow.
Just move along, man.
Mateus Nunez, who actually
Had a really good, performance.
really good performance against Man United. Everyone's thinking Wolves are down and out this season, but with our boy Gary O'Neill at the helm, they could be on for something.
Can I do something that's raucous here?
Yeah, talk to me.
Just let me just take control for a minute, yeah.
Let him cook. Let my guy cook. Oh my God, he's moved Mason Mount into C tier. Luke has actually just put Mateus. Hang on, what are you doing?
Hold on. That's where I'm going.
So, Man United fans and Chelsea fans of years gone by, he has actually just moved, and to the audio listeners, he has just moved Mason Mount from the bottom of B tier to C tier
Behind.
Mateus Nunez. Talk to me about your hatred for Mason Mount.
I actually really like Mason Mount.
That's not what I'm
But
seeing here.
He's had a stinker for like the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, and I know Chelsea's been in turmoil, but we're doing it like right now.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think right now Mateus Nunez
Mm.
is a better player than Mason Mount.
So you offered me this question when we were talking about Thomas Partey and James Maddison. If you had an empty team, who would you take out of Mason Mount and Pascal Gross?
Pascal Gross.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that
I think.
Same question. Douglas Luiz or Mason Mount?
Yeah, but one's a DM, isn't he? Like.
Well, that's what you asked me. But
wait. So like, if I'm Liverpool, I'm taking Douglas Luiz. If I'm Arsenal, I'm
if I'm
taking.
Liverpool, I'm still taking Mason Mount, I think. Even if you needed
Nah, McAllister, Szoboszlai better.
I think he's... I don't know. It's people out in there, in the crowd, in the football hemisphere.
And bro, our B tier is getting too stacked. There can't be that many B tier players, bro.
Yeah, I suppose. Talking of B... No, he's... Conor Gallagher, where are we whacking him?
I'm actually whacking here.
E?
He'd be lucky to get into C for me.
I was going to say E. So should we just happily
I was gonna.
put him
He's
in
better
B?
than Eriksen.
Is he though?
Yeah, he's better than Eriksen.
Is he though?
He can run.
He can run, but has like no.
He's
none
like
of
a
the
lost
IQ.
puppy, isn't he?
And Ericsson has all the IQ in the world, but can't run.
But I feel
Together,
like-
they'd be like an
I
estimate.
feel like he's almost a player like Mason Mount. He can't have too many instructions. He can't be allowed to like free roam. He's got to have set instructions. At Palace, he was really good when he was basically in that 10 role, and he
Yeah.
was free to sort of roam, sit on the edge of the box, arrive late, just play like instinctual football. But he knew where he had to be. He wasn't like, right, you got to come here, you got to press on this guy, you got to sit back, you got to wait. Oh, if I don't know, if Enzo's going forward, you've got to sit back and hold this pivot. He can't do that. It's too much thinking.
He'd be spitting.
Get him in the above
Ericsson. Yeah, I agree.
Problem is though, is he better than Dahoud?
Yeah, we're gonna have to rejig it later. I reckon.
We'll go through our tiers at the
Yeah.
end, but
Yuri Tielemans.
for me, at the minute,
At the minute,
do you know
it's
what?
down
Do you know
low.
what? Yeah, you asked me this 2 seasons ago.
When he
he's
burst-
probably
yeah.
A tier.
When he burst into the scene, he Him,
His
I'd have him
transfer-
over
his
James Maddison. I'd have him over probably Thomas Partey.
Yeah, for his transfer straight to Leicester from Monaco, he was like one of the
guy.
best in the Prem.
Yeah.
It just off the back, he fell off hard last season. I don't know what it was his attitude or whatever, but my man, he on the pitch, he was stinky. Some players can throw a fit and not play well, but you still see the technical. He looked like he'd fallen off a cliff. For me, right now, I'd probably put him top of D tier.
Yuri Dielemans.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you back it?
Yeah, I agree. I think his technical ability alone puts him ahead of Conor Gallagher. Even if his mind isn't it.
Problem is though, like it's hard because we got like Dahoud, who's a bit of an unknown quantity in the Premier League.
Facts.
But I think I'd rather just give him a chance than have Tielemans. So, yeah.
Alexis McAllister.
Me, he is probably A behind Maddison.
I think he is slightly overrated.
He's a world champion.
He is a world champion. I'm a world champion, dickhead. So
yeah, but where are you putting him? You saying he's slightly overrated?
I'd say maybe
he's got to be at least top of B.
Yeah, either top of B.
He's better than Joelinton.
Yeah, maybe I'm just fanboying.
He is better, and I think he's better. I think he's better than Kovacic.
He's not.
I think he is.
Not. He's not. Top of B. Top of B.
All right.
Top of B. João Palhinha from Fulham, our first Fulham player, I believe.
Very good player.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he better than Kovacic?
Well, that's the thing. He's not an unknown quantity, but Kovacic has done it in the Prem and done it in world football.
He's got pedigree,
for like
hasn't he?
10 years.
He's got pedigree.
Got like 4 Champions Leagues, that guy. João Palhinha's been in the season, one good season in the Prem, and he's been touted with like £70 million moves. The market's gone mad. He is a good player, but I'd struggle to put him above the likes of Pascal Gross. Above the likes of Paquetá and Joelinton. I don't think he's got enough strings in his bow.
Is he better than Douglas Luiz?
Probably, but even still, Douglas Luiz has done it for...
He's got pedigree.
He's got years on him. Is
mate.
he in the Mateus Nunes category? Where he's like, he is a good player and looks good, but hasn't done it in the Premier League.
He was really good last season, but so were Fulham. Like all of Fulham were.
Exactly.
And like Mitrovic was doing bits. Bernd Leno was brilliant in goal. Just like Willian was great for them. Yeah. Like it was a really good Fulham team. Maybe this season they'll find it. This season's a telling season. Let's put him in C for now.
C.
Top of C.
Top of C. Yeah,
top
I like
of C.
that. I agree. Yves Bissouma, a player that has been sidelined for pretty much his whole first year at Tottenham.
Honestly, for that season at Brighton, he'd be probably top of B, maybe bottom A. At the minute, I'm going to say he is maybe
D. But I think now he's broken back in
I think I'd rather have him over Dahoud.
Yeah, and the first game against Brentford, he looked really good.
Get him behind Lavia.
Ooh, behind Lavia.
Lavia was better last season.
We're talking right now, and Lavia's had a season of solid...
In a terrible team.
Bissouma's not even been there.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. His midfield compadre, Oliver Skipp.
Get him an F tier, mate.
My guy reeks.
He's ahead of Souček because Souček is that bad.
But he is bad. He is like a Harry Winks regen. He is so bad.
How can you be a regen of a man who's literally just like the same as you?
Yeah.
Like,
but they are just so... They're like
Tom Carroll regens.
Yeah, they're just like this English white boy that has just come up through the ranks, broke into the team, but no one actually knows how they got there. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So average.
I don't rate... they should have... I don't know how they're still at Spurs.
So bad.
So average. Hit like the trio of white boys like him, Eric Dyer... And
Onana next, and then we've got 5 of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Right.
But Onana, Everton player,
I think he sort of burst onto the scene at Everton and has some really impressive performances.
I really like him.
I think he is a really good player.
Physical unit, technical on the ball, athletic,
good going forwards.
Yeah,
brilliant defensively.
When he broke onto the team, all the top 6 were looking at him, and then for some reason, no one's come in and someone to get him, which I found weird.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a good player.
There are a lot of good players. So for me, I'm looking at B.
I'm looking below that.
But is he better than Paulinho?
I don't think so.
Is he better than Mateus Nunes?
I'd say they're very close.
I would say
What have we done to Mason Mount? How is Mason Mount down here?
He done this to himself.
Mace, mate. I'm so sorry.
I love Mason Mount.
let's put
I'm
him-
all here for the revival. He's better than Mason Mount.
Oh my.
He was better last season
Giddy
than Mason
aunt.
Mount, wasn't he? What did Mason Mount do last season?
Yeah, facts. I mean,
I'd have Lavia above Mason Mount.
Oh my god, what is happening? The Mason Mount propaganda has taken an absolute turn on this podcast. Anyway, we're down to the final 5. Arguably the 5 biggest Premier League players right now. I've just made that up, but there's 5 quality players there. Let's start with Chelsea's main man, Enzo Fernandez.
He's S tier.
S tier. I agree. I didn't want to believe it because I was just looking at the price tag and I was like, you're a Chelsea scumbag.
It's not about
Chelsea
the money,
are scumbags
money.
for paying that much money. And I didn't want him to be good, but every game I watch him, he's the best player on the pitch.
Their pivot in midfield is going to be 100. What is it, 120 and 110 million, 150 million.
And then if he drops Lavia in there,
It's another like 60 million.
It's like a 300 million midfield. But yeah, like I was saying, every game I watch him, he's the best player on the
we
pitch.
spent 12.8 million on Chris Samba, broke our club record, and we've been in the shackles of FFP for like 10 years. And it's not fair!
No, I agree. I've tweeted
How
this,
the fuck is that fair, man?
I've tweeted this so many times from the BoreDraw account. Like, the Prem as an entity, spending's fucked. But if you ignore
mate, if you
that,
want to look at that, Saudi's even worse, but...
Chelsea, what is going on? They've spent 800 million in 3 windows.
I just,
I
honestly,
hate it.
yeah.
And they're still trying to spend more.
Honestly, I hope they get slapped with the biggest
Should
fine.
we just move all the Chelsea players to F tier?
Nah, Enzo S tier. And I think this season he could end up ahead of Odegaard. But at the minute, Odegaard had a better season last season.
I agree.
He had a bigger season. But yeah, Enzo has all the ability in the world.
All the ability in the world. And like I said, I don't want him to be good, but every time I watch him, he's very good.
Whoa, this is a tough one now, mate.
My boy, Declan Rice, is up next. West Ham's star man for 4 or 5 seasons. And now he's made the move to title-chasing Arsenal. I'm just going to say S tier. He's better than everyone in that A tier.
Is he better than Enzo?
I'd say bottom of S tier. And I'd say, personally, I think he's better than Enzo. But I'm open to discussions.
How many European titles did Enzo win last season?
Exactly. But then how many World Cups did Declan Rice win last season?
He fumbled. Him and Harry Maguire.
So,
Yeah, bottom of S tier. I'm
bottom
happy
of
with
S
that.
tier. Cool. Right.
Oh, but is Bruno Fernandes better than Declan Rice?
Not a chance. Not a chance. I refuse it. Right, Bruno Guimaraes. He was Newcastle star man, still is Newcastle star man, but he's got a nice little partner now in Sandro Tonali. I'd say he's better than Sandro Tonali.
Better than Caicedo for me.
Better than Caicedo. That's an interesting shout. I think he is very much in between Caicedo and Partey, but I'm open to having him above Caicedo.
I think he's better than Caicedo. He offers more going forward than Caicedo.
But less going backwards.
But that's not his job, though, is it?
That's not Caicedo's job. Come on, Luke.
It's too difficult, man.
Let's put him in between Partey and Caicedo.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, this is
We're
gonna be so
We're
divisive.
going to round off with 2 of Man City's big hitters right now.
If this was last season, beginning of last season,
If I had a tie, I'd be straightening it right
this
now.
man would be far and away the best in the list.
Straighten my tie.
This guy here is gonna chat and he's gonna say he's done for, and he's been vindicated. He's been vindicated because he's injured.
Some heaters from this guy when at the midway through last season I said I think De Bruyne is done, and I had the foresight, the kind of mega mind, big blue head energy. Played with the end of that season with a torn hamstring or whatever. First game of this season, he's out for pretty much 4, 5, 6 months now. I think he's IQ, and this is like when we talk about Eriksen. I'm not going to put him in the D category, but when your IQ's there, it's fine. But if your body isn't Prem level anymore, I don't want to hear it. So I'm going to say, out of respect for what he's done, and I think he is that guy. He's a Prem Hall of Famer. I'd probably have him in my best ever Prem 11. But right now,
He's one of the best midfielders of all time.
I'd probably put him in between Guimaraes and Partey.
What the fuck are you on about?
I'd take Guimaraes.
Oh,
I'd
no.
take Caicedo. I'd take Casemiro. I'd take Bruno Fernandes.
I was going to say at least above Odegaard.
What? You think he's still F tier?
Yes!
Not a chance.
Oh my
brother.
god, man. He's still unbelievable.
Right now, I'm taking Bruno Guimaraes over him.
What?
I know that's a discussion people don't want to have. Right now, you said at least above Odegaard. Right now, I'm taking Odegaard over him. What are you on about? Right now, if you had a blank,
Yeah, but
blank
right
team,
now, one's in a hospital bed.
well, there you go. Bob's your uncle.
But-
Fanny's your aunt.
But like
Like, if you had a
right now,
blank team-
Lavia's not even a Premier League player.
Yeah. Well,
So I just think Kevin De Bruyne, if you got a fit Kevin De Bruyne, and I know we're saying like, oh yeah, so you're only gonna get what, like 20 games a season out of him. 20 games a season of fit Kevin De Bruyne is S tier.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But 20 games of fit De Bruyne or 60 games of any of the other S tiers? Who are you picking? Because I'm picking 60 of all of them. I'll happily put him in S, but bottom of S then.
He's better than Declan Rice. He's better than Enzo. For me, I think he's a better player than
I'm
Odegaard.
not letting you put him above Odegaard.
Fine, you can put him after Odegaard, but I'm not happy about it.
Okay, good boy. Right, and then to round up our Premier League midfielder ranking of not all the Premier League
Honestly,
midfielders,
this
but
guy, top of S tier.
I think he's so good.
Top of S tier.
Should we? Bernardo Silva,
At least we can agree on something.
move to a club that values your tech. Because you're getting just put in... You just, at Man City, plugging holes.
I genuinely think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. And he's versatile. He's not just a midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder. He's a winger.
Yeah.
He could do it all.
And I think that's to his detriment. Because he plays for Man City and just wherever they need him to go. Like, wherever, like, if Mahrez isn't fit, they'll shove him out right wing.
Do you know what, though?
If De Bruyne is not fit, you
He's
put
like-
him Cam. If Grealish needs a rest, put him left wing.
He's a tempo man. He's a ball carrier. He's a workhorse. He's
goals
an
and assists,
outrageous
yeah.
dribbler. Phenomenal output. He can get to the byline. He can arrive late in the box. He could do everything.
I want
to
him
like.
to go
he
to
is
a
in
club
the. He is in
where
like.
he can have that number 10 role.
He
and
is
just
in the
kill it.
top 1% of every single attribute of football,
Yeah.
apart from like height.
He's godly.
But he's still good in the air.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's like physically, he's a monster.
Yeah, he's like, and this is not an exaggeration, but he's Messi-esque in just what
Yeah,
he
no,
does.
he genuinely is.
But obviously,
He's like they lost David Silva and they've like replaced him with a player who's like almost as good as David Silva was.
oh, you know who we're missing? You got no Phil Foden, no Eze,
no
no Smith Rowe.
Eze, yeah, no Smith Rowe.
Let us know if you want to do a part 2, and I'll actually use my brain and go through every player that we missed, and I'll make another
We
tier
should do
list.
one of like number 10s. We'll do one of like number 9s. We'll do left wingers.
Yeah, we'll go through all of them. But if you want us to do a part 2 of central midfielders, let us know. Let us know what you think about our tier list.
We got
Bit crazy.
right. We'll round.
Yeah,
we'll
round it.
start
Yeah.
from F tier. Last place at the bottom of F tier. We got Thomas Souček, and then we got next.
Ollie Skip is joining him in F tier as the only 2 F tier players.
Then we've got in E all
E
alone.
for Emi Buendia.
We got Emi Buendia. D tier, bottom of D tier, we've got Christian Derrickson. We've got Conor Gallagher. And we've got Yuri Dielemans.
Yuri Dielemans.
C tier.
The
The
Hood.
Hood.
Come on.
It's
And that's
not-
good for
and
him
it's
to be doing.
like it's too much unknown
Yeah,
quantity
yeah.
at the minute. Basuma, Lavia, Mount,
Onana, Mateus Nunes, and Yapalinha.
Paulinho, who may be feeling a bit hard done by.
Yeah, I'd say out of all of them, though Paulinho and Mason Mount, I reckon are getting a little bit hard done by, but we're not even going to rejig
game's
it
the game.
with the game's the game. B tier, what we got?
Douglas Luiz, who I think is maybe, I think just he's better than average midfielder.
Yes.
He's better than average, and that's what that tier is.
Yeah, agreed. Dominic Szoboszlai, Pascal Gross, Sandro Tonali.
Who for me would be one that come a year's time will definitely be in the A, maybe even pushing S tier.
Yeah, agreed. And
Depends
then
on what
Lucas
Newcastle
Paquetá, my boy Joe Linton, has somehow got himself to the top of B tier.
Lucas Paquetá, not your boy.
Nah, fuck that guy. And then
Rounding
top
off
of
the
B
top of
tier,
B tier.
Alexis McAllister.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bottom of A tier. This is where you get some serious ballers. We've got
yeah.
Mateo Kovacic. We've got James Maddison. We've got Thomas Partey. We've got Bruno Guimaraes. We have Caicedo, Casemiro, and rounding out the top of A tier, Bruno Fernandes.
Let us know, Man United fans, should Bruno be in S tier? Who knows? And S tier, we've got 6 of the Premier League's best.
6 players in S tier is pretty mad, but it just goes to show how good they are.
Yeah. Declan Rice, we've got him at the bottom of S tier, better than everybody else in the league. Apart from Enzo Fernandez, Kevin De Bruyne, Odegaard, Rodri, and right at the top, best player we think, or best central midfielder in the Premier League.
As that's on this list.
That's on this list, Bernardo Silva.
Guys, let us know down below what you think of our list. Who would you move? Have we done anyone dirty? I.e. Mason Mount. Have we done anyone too nice? I.e. Odegaard.
Ah! If anything...
I'm just messing with you. What did you say at the beginning of this episode? You're like, I've seen so many tier lists and people keep putting like 10 people in S. And we put 6.
6 is good. I think we've done like a nice standard.
Like, we could probably get rid of E. I don't think you need that many tiers.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the Robbie episode. Again, run up the numbers on that. Get involved. If Martinelli scores a goal in the Premier League, we're giving away a Martinelli shirt.
We're going to be picking a winner from someone who
subs to the channel, retweets our tweet on Twitter,
and follows BoreDraw and AFTV on Twitter. Make sure you head over to our socials to get all the links to that. Everything will be down in the description below as well. Check out all the T's and C's and get yourself a nice T on E's. Yeah. But guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been BoreDraw and it's live.